Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to try to summarize my healthcare experience over the last few months here in the Buzz. I do want to say though, that my experience is going to vary greatly from that of other expats and foreigners living in Mexico since I am a dual citizen and not just a resident. But with that said, let's get into this video. I've been having some medical issues for a while now, and we were waiting to go because we thought that I might need to go to a specialist, and then we actually, ironically, made an appointment. Huh?
It was God. It was ironic.
Yeah. God intervened in us going to an expensive specialist to first go to this place that our friend in our fellowship actually told us as a Mexican I can go for free for like blood work and I think a basic exam and stuff like that. So right now we're going to go see what that's all about and see where to go from here. But I'm going to take you guys with that process as a Mexican citizen. For this first visit, I would like to give a special thanks to our friend Connie for all of her help. She not only directed us to this possibility, but she walked us through the process and even went to this initial consultation with us to make sure we understood. This was basically a checkup and discussion of what exactly I had been dealing with. They weighed me, measured me, and checked my vitals. And then he prescribed a medication that is supposed to reduce the amount of acid in your stomach, but my body apparently rejects meds, and I ended up feeling worse and stopped taking it early. He also sent me to get general blood work done and an x-ray to see if there was any blockage. Okay guys, good morning. It is a different day. On Monday, I think it was, that we first came. They just kind of did like a basic exam and everything, and then they told me to come back today, which is Thursday, to draw some blood and give some other samples for them to run some tests that we will get the results back for on Monday. There's a bus coming, but whatever. But you can see that they were watching me from the truck. That's weird. You can see that I finished, and I have a cotton ball in my elbow, and my juice that mom got me. So now we're gonna walk home and we'll see on Monday how everything comes back. All of my scans and tests were clear, praise God, but we still didn't have answers as to what was causing my symptoms. So my first doctor sent us to the big public hospital, Salvatierra, to see a gastrointestinal surgeon and discuss the potential need for further testing. Our first visit to the main hospital was mostly getting my paperwork in order and scheduling the appointment with the surgeon. At this appointment, we talked through what I've been dealing with again, and again he prescribed medications, as well as ordered blood work, an endoscopy, and a colonoscopy. The medication this time actually did make a notable difference, which was good to see improvement finally.
Can you tell much either? I'm just looking at Nemo. Just keep swinging.
This was one of the longest parts of the process. We went to meet with my anesthesiologist to see if I was ready for my procedures the next day. I'm not sure how different it would be in private practices, but I can definitely say that in the public hospital, it was not exactly a quick process. We waited for 3 hours to have a 30-minute checkup, going over all of the same stuff and doing a mini physical exam. She cleared me, and it was time for by far the worst part of the entire thing. The prep for the colonoscopy is something I wish no one ever had to go through. You're supposed to drink this solution in 4 liters of water, 1 liter every hour, but I couldn't finish it that quick. When I tried to drink it faster, it ended up returning with a vengeance.
morning, guys. One long night and crazy DD ride later, and we are at the hospital. Mom is going to try to record a little bit of me before the procedure, and then afterwards we're just gonna focus on me getting home and feeling better. But I will document whatever we can and explain to you guys throughout the video. So.
So this is my experience of trying to figure out several months of digestive issues and weight loss that all started at the beginning of the year whenever I was taking various medications for a different infection. And let me preface this by saying that in Mexico, when you turn 18, you are considered a legal adult and kind of expected to start doing things on your own and for yourself. So it was kind of strange for Mom to be able to go with me through all of my appointments, but I'm very thankful that she was there with me with the doctors up until this day. So when we got to the hospital on the day of the procedure, we waited for about 30 minutes before they called me back, and this was the first point in my whole medical journey that I was on my own. A big thank you to all of my amazing friends for helping me practice my Spanish, because it gave me a little bit more confidence on being alone, but I was still honestly really anxious. They rolled me back to the preparation room and got me set up on one of the beds or gurneys or whatever it's called. I don't know medical terms. And then they started getting me ready for the procedure. They were setting up all of the vital things and had some issues with that because I have my nails done. And I was never informed by any of the doctors throughout this whole process that I had to have them removed for the procedure, because I had had them the whole time. People could have seen and warned me like, hey, you need to take those off for your procedure. Nobody ever said anything about that. It wasn't on any of the paperwork. So that kind of delayed the beginning of the procedure. But after a while, I don't really know how long of being in that prep room, they rolled me back to the actual room where the procedure was going to happen. And I honestly didn't think I was going to be conscious this long, so that also added to my anxiety. There were like 20 different nurses and doctors all asking me the same questions, and then there was like 20 people in the room for the procedure. Pretty sure that this hospital is a teaching hospital where they have lots of student doctors and nurses who kind of come through all of the different things to learn the way that it goes. But anyway, at this point, once we were in the procedure room, that is where they finally administered my anesthesia, and at that point, obviously, I don't really remember what happened. Now I'm gonna let Mom take over what her perspective was outside in the waiting room.
Okay, so from Mom's perspective, we haven't had to deal with a lot of medical stuff with Alexa, praise God, but this was one of those situations where we just kind of really needed to know what was going on. So my first experience with this system of foreign medical healthcare was different than what I'm used to, is that they just came and swooped her up and took her back, and I couldn't stay with her until they began the anesthesia process. They didn't really say that that was because she's an adult. I don't know if that's just the way they do it with everyone and only patients get to go back, but that was a little uncomfortable that they just kind of took her and I was there for none of it. They said it was going to be about 2 hours. I asked because we had to get a ride to come get us afterwards so that we weren't riding a crazy Dee. So thank you to our friend Claire. She not only was transportation for us to get home after all of this, but she sat with me and kept me company and kept me distracted because they told me it would take about 2 hours, and she showed up around right prior to that time frame. But the 2-hour mark came and went. And then as I continued to ask for updates, I was just told, yeah, she's still in there, obviously, but they didn't give me any updates as to her condition or how the procedure was going or why it was taking long. But anywho, it ended up taking 4 hours. So we passed the time waiting. And when she did come out, I was just so excited that she was out. I didn't get to film like she wanted me to because they just kind of rolled her out and called her name, and there she was. That's something different for us. We didn't get updates during the process, so that's kind of unnerving. I never once got to talk to a doctor. She was just brought out and given a piece of paper with her results printed out on it. So normally you get an update and you get to talk to the doctor, but she actually just came out with the results already, which, praise God, her results from her endoscopy and her colonoscopy showed that all is fine. Everything looked normal. So that's a relief to be able to know that they did look and there's no needed procedures or treatment there. So we're grateful for that. And we will just continue the path, obviously trust in the Lord for her healing, seeking holistic things, which we generally prefer. But this situation got a little bit different to where we needed to pursue this path. It kind of relieves your mind when you get to get eyes on it and see that there's nothing physiologically wrong with her. And we praise God for that. So that's our experience with the Mexican public health care system. May not have covered it all. You guys might not know more you could share with us. And we'll probably look into how Sean and I might be able to use it as residents in the future, but not real sure. So that's Mama's experience with baby girl going under.
I want to reiterate that my experience as a citizen in the public rather than private healthcare system is going to be very different than that of an expat. I also recognize that I didn't get a whole lot of footage during this process, and that is because I was trying to understand and I was honestly just more concerned about my health. If you found that this video was lacking information, I will gladly answer any of your questions down in the comments below, and thank you so much for your understanding. With that said, that is all I have for this week's video. I hope that you did find it informative and that you enjoyed coming along for this little medical journey. If you did, please leave a big thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to come along for more adventures that come with the life in Mexico. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Bye!